have been thinking a lot lately about what people mean when they say they want a better life. It is one of those phrases that we hear almost all the time. We say it so casually, oh, I'm just trying to build a better life. But the more I thought about it, the more I actually realized that I am not even sure what we mean by that. If you had asked me this question like a few years ago, I would have answered without, thinking. A better life meant making more money, moving to a nicer apartment, building a successful career, and finally feeling confident, figuring everything out. Honestly, I really don't think there's anything wrong with wanting those things. And I still really want them. But somewhere along the line, I have started noticing something about myself. I was spending way too much time imagining the next version of myself and without barely thinking about or noticing and paying attention to where I was living currently. I just kept telling myself, oh, things will get better when I earn more, when I become more disciplined, when I grow my YouTube channel, when I finally build the career I've been dreaming about. It is always when. And I really don't think I am the only one that actually does this. I think a whole lot of us are actually waiting for life to begin. We are constantly convincing ourselves that happiness is somewhere in the future. It's just there between the next milestone. So we keep chasing, we keep postponing, we keep believing that the next version of ourselves will, feel complete. I believe that too. Over the past few years, my life has really changed in so many ways. I have started over more than once. I have changed careers. I have had to learn completely new skills. I have had to walk away from a version of myself I no longer wanted in my life. And all while all of this was happening, I realized something that I wasn't even expecting. Maybe building a better life isn't just about changing the world around us. Maybe it's about changing the way we experience the life we are already living. So lately, that is the question that I have been sitting with. What does living a better life actually mean? Because I have a feeling the answer isn't what I used to think it was. Hey, if this is your first time here, welcome. I am Didee, and this little corner of the internet is where I am documenting what it looks like to rebuild my life one step at a time. I am currently learning AI, building new businesses, growing this YouTube channel, and honestly just trying to be the kind of woman I have always imagined I wanted to be. I definitely don't have everything figured out yet, and that's kind of the whole point. So this channel isn't about me pretending that I have arrived. This channel is about documenting what I am becoming. So if you're in that season where you're figuring it out, chasing a dream that feels way bigger than you, or simply just trying to build a life that feels more intentional, I think you feel at home here. I'd love for you to subscribe and join this growing community, because I have a feeling we are going to look back at this video and realize we were witnessing the beginning of something very special. Alright, let's get back into today's conversation. I think when I look back in my life, there's not that single moment that changed or one magical thing happened. It's a series of small moments that has eventually changed how I view the world. I grew up in Akwa Ibom, and I had imagined that my life looked exactly like the life I had seen around me. You go to school, you get to the university, you travel, you go for your youth service, you come back with a husband, you are probably married to a civil servant, and then you come back and you're teaching in one secondary school like that. You have your kids, you have your family. In the morning, you take care of your family, you take them to school, you go to work. From work, you come back to home, you get your family ready, put things in order, and just rinse and repeat, right? And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that life, because that is exactly everything I knew. That was how I pictured everything. I never really sat down to really think of what I actually wanted to do with my life. But then I moved to Abuja, and suddenly it was like the world was just way bigger. It was as if I was in a dark room, right? And then somebody opened the door or opened the window, and then lights came in. I was like, wait, what? I was like, are this happening? I was suddenly surrounded with women building businesses, doing their own things, furthering their degrees, creating opportunities for themselves, working remotely, traveling, earning in ways that I could not even imagine it was remotely possible. It was like I was blind, and then somehow I was now seeing. It wasn't that my old life was bad. No, it was just that I never knew so many opportunities existed. And from that moment, something inside me shifted. I started questioning everything that I thought my life would be. And that question, eventually led me to, restarting all over again. For over 4 years, I have been in social media. I have worked with food brands, I worked with skincare brands, I worked with lifestyle brands, I have worked with tech brands, and I am genuinely grateful for everything that season has taught me. But it also got to a point that some part of this work we're not reflecting the kind of person I really wanted to be. So it got to a point that I just really wanted more, and my work was not really aligned with the value I wanted to give out for the future I was trying to build. So I made a difficult decision to just walk away from that chapter and start over again. Like earlier this year, I was really committed to learning video editing. You guys are part of that journey. And even though I am still learning, still making my mistakes, still making adjustments, I have come to realize that skills like this don't just finish because you finish learning a particular course or you finish attending a particular class. No, they grow because you keep practicing, right? Even if your work is not perfect, you just keep showing up. Now, when I was making my New Year plans, I was just telling myself, okay, I'm going to learn video editing in January. February, I'm going to learn AI automation, because last year I came to understand a new world, which is AI. Like, I became so obsessed with AI last year, and my plan this year was to, branch into the industry, build a lot of things using AI. So when January came and learning video editing had to spill over for 3 months, I was really worried. Somehow I was just like feeling, behind. Like I wasn't feeling okay at all. But as it will happen, a friend of mine sent me a link about, this academy offering courses. So when I clicked on that link and I now checked, lo and behold, AI automations. AI was there. I was so excited. I registered for this program. I paid the registration fee. I did everything we were told to do, and I just gave it a chance. Even though it's been like less than a month, looking back, I am so excited. Like, I feel like this has been the very best decision I have ever made this year. I am so genuinely excited, and if I am being honest, I am really scared, because I really hope that I don't lose this excitement when things get tougher, because this is like a completely new thing for me. And then there is this YouTube. I am laughing, right? I just had to laugh because this channel has actually existed for like a few years. I think I created this channel 2022 thereabout. And if you are not new here, you probably know this is not the first time that I have promised to be consistent. I promised to be consistent last year, and I disappeared. I came back in January and I promised, I held my ground. I said this, I said that, I promised, and I disappeared again. I came back in April and I disappeared. Here I am again. But this time I feel like it just, feels a whole lot different. And it's not because, I am suddenly, disciplined overnight. No, it is because I am no longer just trying to grow on YouTube, right? I'm actually trying to, document my life. I'm trying to document a life that I am actually proud of building. And beyond YouTube, I have so many other dreams. I want to build businesses. I want to create opportunity, and not just for myself, but for other people as well. I have this picture in my mind that, I am really just working toward. And every decision right now just feels like a small step to that direction. And I'll be lying if I said I wasn't scared, because sometimes I just wonder all this work will actually get somewhere. I wonder if the hours I am spending, practicing, coding, failing, and starting all over again will actually like lead to something bigger. Or if I am just simply telling myself a beautiful story just because I am afraid to give up. And that is the kind of question I have been carrying in my mind lately. How do you keep building a life when you haven't seen the results yet? I think one of the biggest things I have had to like unlearn is that building your life doesn't just magically happen or doesn't just happen overnight or happen in one big giant moment. How we always hear these stories about people's lives who change overnight, how they landed one big job like that, how their businesses suddenly took off, or maybe their content went viral. And because those are the stories like we hear the most, it is so easy to believe that that is what change is supposed to look like. I really used to think that too. I thought that one day I'll just wake up and suddenly I am like the most disciplined person ever, or that I'll wake up and I'll just magically become more confident, or that I'll stop procrastinating, or that everything will just click. But that is not really how my life looked like. Most days don't feel extraordinary at all. Most days just feel like, sitting in front of my laptop for hours, recording a video, back and realizing that there's something in there that I didn't like, and then trying again. They look like practicing a skill that nobody's clapping for me yet. They look like choosing to show up even when there's no proof that all the work is eventually going to pay off. And maybe that is what building a better life is. Not one huge decision that has changed everything, but hundreds of decisions that has quietly changed you. I don't think my life looks different dramatically from 6 months ago, but I know I do, because every day I choose to learn, every day I choose to practice, every day I choose to believe that version of me that is worth showing up for changes even when nobody sees it yet. And I really think that that is the part that a whole lot of us has spend way so much time looking for visible results that we almost forget the invisible transformation happening within us first. Which has made me realize something else. The biggest difference between the life I am trying to build now and the life I was living before isn't just what I am doing. It is how I am choosing to live every day. And that is when I started paying attention to something else. For the longest time, I have thought that peace was the feeling. I have kept waiting for the day that I wake up with no anxiety, or without overthinking, or without over worrying if I was doing something enough. I thought peace would come after I reached my goals. But the more I kept chasing that feeling, the more I realized that it never seems to last. Then I started noticing something else. On the days I felt the most grounded, it wasn't because I was doing something different. It was because I had done something that had helped me felt like myself. I'll plan my day instead of just letting it control me. I'll spend time learning, I'll spend time cleaning my space, maybe go for a walk. None of these things changed my life overnight, but together they all changed the way I experience life. I think that's what I'm beginning to understand. Peace isn't something I've been lucky enough to stumble across. It is something I'm slowly choosing it is something I'm slowly creating through the way I choose to live my life. Not perfectly, not every single day, but often enough that little by little my life just stops feeling chaotic and starts feeling more intentional, which has made me realize that there's also one more thing that I have been getting wrong. For years, I have actually thought that confidence came first. I thought confident people built businesses. I thought confident people posted videos online without even thinking or caring about what any other person thought. I thought confident people changed their careers, learned new skills, and took risks because they had already believed in themselves. But the more I look back in my own journey, I have realized that I have been taking this completely wrong. Confidence isn't the reason why people take action. Often than not, it is actually the result of taking action. When I decided to learn video editing, I wasn't confident. I was nervous. Every project reminded me of how much I still didn't know. And even now, I am still learning. Every time I edit a new video, I'll realize something that, I didn't know or I should have done better. Every project teaches me something like the last one didn't. And the same thing happened when I started learning AI automation. First few days were just really weird. I was hearing things that I have never heard before in my life. The workflow was just looking so confusing. At some point I was like, am I even smart enough to do this? But I just kept showing up. Not because I suddenly became confident, but because I was curious enough to keep trying. Every workflow I built, every lesson I completed, every mistakes I fixed, finally gave me more confidence than the day I had before. Even this YouTube channel is proof of it. If I had waited until the day, I completely felt like, oh, I was ready, or until I knew exactly what I was doing, I probably wouldn't be sitting here talking to you today. Because the truth is this, I still haven't figured it out. I still, question myself. I still wonder if people actually like watch these videos. I still have days where like I compare myself to, creators that are way ahead of me. But at the same time, I have stopped waiting for feelings to disappear before I move. I have realized that courage isn't the absence of fear. It is deciding that the life you want to build matters more than the fear you're feeling today. And just maybe that is what confidence really is. It is not waking up one morning and suddenly believing that you're capable. It is collecting enough small promises that you've kept to yourself. One day you like look back and realize, maybe I can trust myself after all. But if I am being completely honest with you, even after everything I have shared, even after changing careers, learning AI, starting over, trying to become more intentional, I still have days where everything just feels incredibly difficult. Because rebuilding your life actually feels so exciting when somebody is telling the success story. Living through it is an absolute complete different experience. There are like days where I like compare myself without even realizing that I am actually doing that. I see people doing this or doing that, building businesses, having this stable income or stable career, or even somebody else YouTube channel growing way faster than mine, or somebody who is like living the life I am working towards. And for a moment, I just start questioning my own journey. I start wondering if I am moving too slowly or if I should have figured this out like years ago. And comparison honestly has a very strange way of making you forget how far you've come. It only shows you like the distance left, and then almost without even noticing, comparison turns into impatience. I start wanting everything to happen faster. I want to learn faster, grow faster, and more, reach my goals sooner. Because somewhere in my mind, I just keep thinking that once I get there, everything will finally make sense. But life really doesn't work like that. Growth takes time, and it is sometimes so frustrating to accept. Then another thought creeps in quietly. What if I'm already late? I'm 26, right? Sometimes I look at people who have started before me and I really just wonder if I have missed my chance. Maybe I should have taken YouTube more seriously. Maybe I should have discovered AI sooner. Maybe I should have believed in myself before now. Those thoughts can really be loud if I let them. And once they settle in, they bring another worry with them: money. Because dreaming is beautiful, but dreams still have bills attached to them. There are moments where I look at everything I'm trying to build and I just wonder how long it will take before all this work begins to, support the life I am hoping for. I think about the business I want to start, the home I someday want to have, the freedom I am working towards. And sometimes, if I'm being honest, I just wonder if I can actually get there. Those moments can, feel surprisingly lonely, but because there are some parts of this journey that are impossible for anyone else to carry. There are decisions that only I can make, doubts that only I can quiet. There is where no one sees the days or the hours spent on practicing, starting over again. And in those quiet little moments, fear has a way of, just getting louder. Fear that maybe this moment won't amount to anything. Fear that maybe I'll work as hard as I can and still fall short. Fear that maybe I will look back years from now and wonder if I was working hard for something that was never meant. Those thoughts are real. I don't even pretend that they don't exist. But I have also realized something. Every version of the life I truly want is waiting at the other side of the fear. So maybe the goal isn't to stop feeling afraid. Maybe it is to stop letting fear make decisions for me. So, after thinking about all of this, after changing cities, restarting my career, learning new skills, starting over more times that I can count, and asking myself over and over and over again what a better life actually means, and asking myself what a better life actually looks like. I don't think I have found a perfect answer, but I do think I have found the honest one. I used to think a better life was waiting for me out there somewhere in the future, somewhere beyond the next achievement, the next opportunity, the next amount of money, the next version of me. I keep thinking life will finally begin when I become more successful, more disciplined, more confident, more accomplished. But lately, I have started wondering if that's why so many of us keep wondering we are chasing something. If that's why so many of us feel like we are constantly chasing something that we will never catch. Because every time we reach one destination, our mind immediately creates another one. It's almost like standing at the shore and then believing that happiness is on the horizon. You keep walking towards it, but the horizon just keeps moving. And one day I asked myself, what if a better life isn't a destination at all? What if it is a way we choose to live even while we are still on a journey? Because when I think about the moments I have genuinely felt proud of myself, they are usually not the biggest moments. They are the quiet ones. The morning I choose to study instead of making excuses. The afternoon that, I uploaded a video even when I wasn't sure someone was going to watch it. The evening I stayed consistent on something that I would normally give up on. The day I learned one thing that my future self might thank me for. Those moments, they don't look impressive on the outside. Nobody celebrates them, nobody claps. But I think those ordinary moments are becoming the foundation of the life I have been praying for. It's like planting a tree, right? Imagine digging a hole, planting a seed and watering it every day. For weeks, it feels like nothing is happening, right? The ground stays exactly the same. You can easily convince yourself that the effort isn't, but beneath the surface, roots are growing quietly, patiently, strengthening themselves long before anyone sees the first branch. And I wonder if rebuilding our lives feel the same way. And I wonder if rebuilding our lives work the same way. Maybe the season where it feels like nothing is changing and where everything is every actually the season where everything important is happening beneath. Maybe we are becoming stronger before we become more successful. Or maybe we are becoming wiser before we become visible. Or maybe we are becoming the kind of people who can actually handle the life we are asking for. I really don't know what my life will look like a year from now. I don't know if this YouTube channel will grow in a way I hope it does. I don't know how long it will take for the business I am building to become the way I imagine them to be. I don't know if every risks I'm taking will work, but for the first time in a very long time, I am actually okay with not knowing because I have actually stopped measuring my life with the results I can see. I am measuring it by the person I am becoming while I wait. And maybe that is what living a better life means. Not having everything figured out, not waking up one morning and suddenly becoming fearless, not reaching a point where everything is perfect, but waking up every day, choosing to keep going, choosing to keep learning, choosing to keep becoming one ordinary day at a time. If someone asked me today whether I am living a better life, I don't think my answer would be yes because I achieved everything I wanted. I think my answer would simply be this: I am living a better life because I am finally becoming someone I can trust, someone I am proud to grow into. And honestly, I think that's enough for now. I'll keep showing up, I'll keep documenting, and maybe months or even years from now, we will watch these videos together again and smile. Not because everything turned out exactly the way I planned, but because we got to witness the quiet, ordinary days that slowly changed everything. Before I go, I want to leave you with one question. Not because I have an answer, but because it's the same question I'm going to keep asking myself long after I finish editing this video. What does living a better life mean to you today? Not 5 years from now, not when everything works out fine, not because you've achieved every goal on your vision board, but today. Maybe your answer is completely different from mine, and I think that's what really makes this journey so beautiful. We are all becoming just in different ways and at different speeds. So if you feel like sharing, I genuinely would love to hear your thoughts down in the comment section. And while you are there, take a few minutes to read other people's comments as well. You might realize that there are people rebuilding their lives alongside with yours. If this is your first time here and something in this conversation resonated with you, I'd love for you to stay. Not because I have life all figured out, because every week I'll be here documenting the messy, ordinary process of becoming. And maybe one day we will look back to this video together and realize this was not the chapter where everything changed overnight. It was a chapter where we quietly decided not to give up. Thank you so much for spending this moment with me. I will see you in the next chapter. Bye.